What's going on? Welcome to a special joint practice edition of Chopping It Up. My name is Gabe Henderson. Usually we have a barber for this show and we have barber chairs, but when you have guests the way we have today, you just get out the director's chairs and just get right to the point. So on my far right, we got my guy, Mr. Jordan Hicks, Minnesota Vikings linebacker. And to my far left, we got Arizona Cardinals all-pro safety, Mr. Budda Baker. Thanks to the Arizona Cardinals PR for making this happen. And then to my left, we got Murphy Island, Mr. Byron Murphy Jr. You guys, there's numerous reasons why we're here right now. Clearly, joint practices just ended. But from 2019 to 2021, you guys shared the same field together, all in the Cardinals uniform. Both of you guys are in purple now, but when you get to this moment, how special is this? Like, how special is this brotherhood?
Yeah, it's dope. You get to, I was talking to somebody yesterday, this is probably the last time I'll be on the same practice field, right, with Budda Baker or with some of the trainers and, some of the people that you have built relationships with, coaches that you've seen, the special teams coach, Coach Rogers for the Cardinals. It's probably the last time I'll be on a practice field with these people that I had built great relationships with over those 3 years. And so, it's special. It's cool to build those relationships. That's what you remember, about your time in your past. And, I've got great memories of being on the field with these guys. So it's always good to see, guys like Budda and guys like, people that you built relationships with over the past.
I'm kind of on the same thing as Jordan. I got brought into this league with both of them. Started off in college with Budda.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's been my big bro since college. He's kind of been leading the way for me since my freshman year of college. But for me, it's the same thing, just to see those guys, the guys I came in with. Always, blessed to get drafted back home. But now I'm here, like you said, in purple, so it was good to compete against those guys. And for me, it was nothing too personal that everyone's kind of getting into. But for me, it was just to go compete against my brothers, who I know are dogs on the same mentality as me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like they said, they hit it to a T. Me personally, it's been special for me to see, come into their home and, go against their team, but also just to see my friends again, see my guys again. So it's definitely very special to come out here and be able to have these joint practices and be able to compete, but also understand that, at the end of the day, everyone has families, everyone has, brothers, kids, siblings, so we're all able to see each other's, families and little things like that. So that's always special, and I always remember the time that I had with these guys on the field together, and it's just a very special opportunity again to be able to practice with them and compete.
That's awesome. I was talking to Jordan, we were walking up here, and I was like, Budda was the heart and soul of y'all. Like, he was the captain, the heart and soul of the defense, right? And he was like leader through and through. And your story's been documented. You basically became the man of the house at the age 13 and just pretty much just grew as you've continued to grow as a man. That leadership quality, like, where does that come from?
Yeah, just like all these guys are great leaders as well, and guys that, I've looked up to as well. But, for me, just trying to lead by example first. When I was a younger guy, I just didn't really talk much. I just kind of just, ran to the ball or been the first one in conditioning every time, or be at the weight room and be in there the first and be there last. And, that kind of developed as just being a kid trying to be great. And, as the years go on, you get, guys trying to, put into you like, hey, you need to talk more, you need to communicate more, because, when you communicate, they listen. So little things like that, just to be able to understand that first, I kind of led by example, and then after that, that's when, you start to get comfortable and develop those, you're having those conversations and develop those habits. So definitely just looking up to other older players as well, guys like Jordan Hicks, where you does it, correct things each and every time, and you can ask him on the field questions, off the field questions, and just definitely a blessing to be where I am today.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw, when I first got there, right, we had Pat P in the room. Pat P was kind of the vet. When things were breaking down, when we were breaking down the huddle and stuff, like, it would be Pat P in front. Budda. One thing about Budda wears his heart on his sleeve, right? You know what Budda's thinking. You know what emotion he's feeling in that moment, right? No matter what. And so, if Budda has something to say, he'd chime in. But that second year we were there, right, Budda took that step, and it was like, no, this is my defense. Y'all break it. I'm breaking this thing down. Y'all follow me, and I'm going to show us the way. So Budda's, one of the best leaders I've ever been around in terms of just being able to every single play, put it out there, right? It's one thing to be a leader out front, but it's another thing to be a leader and put it on tape day in and day out, right? And, he earns this respect by his tape. And, when he talks, people listen.
I mean, y'all were playing video games in college.
Oh man, same thing with me. I've been, like I said, since college. He's always been, the leader of the group. Coming in, obviously we had Budda, we had some other guys that was good, but I just felt like he was the main one that was in the meeting room. I could just, lock into and ask him questions because I knew he was always on his stuff. And he sat in the front, so as a rookie, I had to get in the back. So he was different, but yeah, just the way, right when you see him, and they put me in the back. But like he said, when you see his tape, you put his tape on, just the way he plays, he's gonna bring everybody with him. And obviously when he gets in that huddle, if he gotta say something, he's gonna say it and let you know. So that's one thing I like about my bro, and then yeah, just good for him, everything that's going on for him.
Having these older guys, right, like that kind of ushered you into the league, like patience had to become a virtue. Like, what is an example? Or do you have a story of, a moment where you really had to learn patience as a virtue? I'll open it up for the group, but I'll start with you, Murph.
My biggest thing I would say is me entering the league and playing nickel. I've never played nickel my whole, in college, I've never played nickel. So I think that was the biggest moment for me, staying patient. Obviously learning that playbook as a rookie was the biggest thing I will always remember. I was kind of all over the place trying to get everything moving too fast. So I think just keeping the patience, my rookie year was a big thing for me, and obviously watching the guys that's older than me, how they go about it every day, what they do before practice, after practice, all those little things just had me, keep patience and just keep grinding watching those guys.
I had a few patient moments that have taught me. Obviously, coming in the league as a young guy I was a third-round pick. We had like 7 linebackers in our room for 2 positions, and a bunch of older dudes. So I started off 4-core special teams and had to find my role and try to excel at that role, like a lot of the dudes that come into the league, right? That's kind of the way, you get your start. And 2 people went down in the same game, had to be ready on the spot, right? I went from playing no defensive snaps to playing every defensive snap. Ended up, projecting my career forward. So there was that moment, and then obviously my time in AZ for that last year was a very, very patient moment of trying to just stay focused, stay in my own zone, and throw a chip on my shoulder and just be true to who I am, right? And try and figure out what to learn from that situation. So, yeah, good thing I had guys like this to lean on, keep me straight.
Yeah, my situation is very similar to his. My rookie year, it was, Bruce Arians was my head coach, and, the safeties were Antoine Bethea, Tyrann Mathieu, and Tyvon Branch. And at the time, they were, I think Tyrann was maybe in his 6th or 7th year, and AB and Tyvon were maybe in their 9th or 10th or 11th maybe. So those guys were long seasoned vets, and at the time, I was a huge special teamer. I only did special teams for the first maybe 5 to 6 weeks. And personally, for me, I was just like, I felt like I worked hard enough to become a starter, but at the end of the day, they told me this was my job, and I just tried to play it at a very high level. And I didn't really care. I didn't pout. I didn't, do any negative things. I just stuck my head down and just grinded and, played special teams, kick return, be in the L1.
So you front line.
Kickoff. I'm in the front line. Kickoff, punts, being the gunner, getting double team, triple team. But, it was definitely something special. And at the end of the day, for me, I felt like if I was going to play good and if I want to be on defense, I'm going to have to go very hard on special teams. I'm going to have to go crazy on special teams. So next thing you know, I felt like I was playing pretty good on special teams, and the next thing you know, Husky packages, Baker packages, third down. Now I'm in on third downs. Playing good on third downs. Tyvon Branch got injured versus Seahawks, and I always remember coming in, I was the next guy up, being the starter, and that's kind of all she wrote there. So for my mentality, it was keeping the main thing, and my rookie year, it was special teams, and then I was able to, of course, play defense, but at the end of the day, whatever my job was, I was going to do it as 100%, and that was my whole mentality. And you know, 7 years later, man, it's been that mentality still.
My last question, because I know you got to get back, get in, shower up. All you guys got a story of just motivated, chip on your shoulder. I mean, two undersized guys. When you look at the, I guess, NFL.com scouting report, a guy, okay, can he play? Can he do this? Advice. What would be your advice for fans out there that's watching, that's basically saying, all right, like I got this chip on my shoulder, or I got this one thing that people are saying I can't do? What would you say for them?
I'd say don't ever let somebody else set the expectation for you, right? You create your own expectation, you create your own goals, and along the way, along the path, people are going to tell you what you can and can't do, and you can't let that deter you or keep you unmotivated from achieving those goals. You got to stay self-motivated. You got to continue to work, continue the process, be process-oriented, and just trust yourself, believe in yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. If you walk out on that field and you don't have belief in yourself and what you do, it's going to be exposed instantly, right? And I believe that's in life too.
I would say for me, it's just never question God. We know in a situation, this business that we're in, a lot of things could happen at any moment. Like I said, injuries come, a whole bunch of stuff could happen. But my thing is just stay locked into to yourself, your goals that you believe in, that you can do to yourself. And that's the biggest thing. Just keep faith and believe in God. With situation, everything happens for a reason.
They both said great things, and Jordan Hicks couldn't put it any better. That's my mentality the whole time. And also something I would say is never get comfortable. When you're in that position, when you're in that spot to, where everyone loves you, at the end of the day, everybody can hate you the next day. So never, like he said, never let someone else's expectations, be who you are. So.
Where did that mindset come from?
Man, honestly, it probably came from high school. Because at the time, I went to Bellevue High School, and everything was critiqued, off to breaking the huddle, to getting to the ball, to snapping the ball, we ran the wing tee, so doing the fakes and having the fakes 15 to 20 yards each and every play, and nothing was good enough. So, that's kind of what I've been grown upon, and, that was my whole head coach. He was never really happy until, we hosted that state championship. So, for me, I never lost a high school game because it was always, that's not good enough. No matter how good it was, we'll beat a team 40-6, and he'll find in the third quarter we broke the huddle the wrong way.
Oh, wow.
And we have to run. So little things like that, man. That's kind of what.
That's wild.
That's strict.
That was my thing in high school, and then when I got to college, it was easy, because it's like I've been getting this and that from all this time, and now I'm in high school. It's kind of a little easier. So that's kind of where my work ethic came from. So
Coach Lake was serious.
Yeah, he was serious, but not as serious as Bruce
as
a head coach. I got that with Gontrop, not as serious as him. So shout out Butch, but yeah, it was a doozy.
Man, this was dope. Of course, this is a Vikings platform, but Budda, we are wishing you the best of luck out in Arizona this year, man. Safe travels back. Healthy season going forward, and I appreciate you chopping it up with us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me.
My dogs.
Yes, sir. It's great to see my boys again. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Budda.
Yes, sir.
Detached.
Wow. Detached.
My boy.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.